Hey Golf Gang, and welcome back to A Path of Exile. This is episode 11 of my Path of Exile weekly updates. What have I been doing in the last week of Path of Exile? Not much, is the answer. Let's quickly go through all of the leagues I have characters in. I haven't done anything really with my Ruthless characters. I do like Ruthless. I usually play in the evenings after evening meal time for a couple of hours. Just because I don't have to trade, I'm not worried about going fast or making currency. I can just go through and have a nice time. I've got my Shadow has just finished Act 1, I believe. I'm running a Templar through as more as a mule than anything else. And then I'm hoping to do the same with a Witch and maybe a Ranger as well, just to get some of the gems, and then I'll have some gems I can use. Those familiar with Ruthless will know how important those are. If you don't care about Ruthless, let's move on. Standard, self-found hardcore. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it in a good 2, maybe 3 weeks. Ever since I started playing around with Sanctum, I haven't done anything with my hardcore, and frankly, I'm a bit annoyed at myself. I do enjoy it. I still want to get to level 90. I've only got 16 more levels to go on the jug, and then it'll just be doing the Uber lab for the 4th ascendancy points, the last 2 ascendancy points there, and hopefully I'll get it done. After that I will possibly still play hardcore, but probably not on the level 90 because I don't want to lose it. That's by and by. What have I done in standard? I did do a couple of Uber Labs, not the goddess infused Uber Labs, just the normal eternal last ascendancy point Uber Labs, just to get the feel of how the build works. Build works fine. I quite enjoyed the build I've chosen for my labs, so now I just need to do a few more runs in Uber Lab, and then hopefully I can move on and try one of the goddess labs, which is what that character's all for, all in the hopes of getting my own enchants for my gear. That's the whole purpose. I did do some on my Death's Oath character. I need to respec this character now because with the changes to curses, this build has become very popular again. So I will probably need to do some sort of full respec, but I'll possibly wait until 3.21 because then I'll get a free respec, and we'll see if they change anything else to do with the curses or the occultist ascendancy after this one. That's a quick side note. So I've finally finished all my white and yellow missions in standard. I've only got the red ones left, and I've done about 20 odd Kirak missions. Ooh, nice. I'll do that later. Ooh, I'll have to look to see which fragment I need. But anyway, the reason I like doing these is because I can just look at one and see that's got Slayer Harbingers. None of that stuff affects this character, so I can just click on there and run it. I don't have to worry about sextants, I don't have to worry about rolling the map. I just click, see if I can do it and run it. So that's what I like. And I've also done a lot of organisations in my tabs. It may not look like it, but I've done a lot of sorting out, thrown a lot of stuff out, moved a lot of stuff around, and yeah, that's that. Let's move on to Sanctum. This is the dead character pretty much. It is absolutely naked. Oh god, so bright. So I don't like logging into town. I don't care. I hate the bright MTX. Blah blah. The reason this character has not been deleted is because A, it's holding on to a quest contract for heist, which I need to drop off to the next character that's going to run it. And B, I need to go into Sanctum and rescue the relics because this was my original character and it's still got all the good relics. Unfortunately, I deleted the Consecrated Path character and it was holding 4 crappy relics. They were all gain 15 to 20 resolve on boss kill. So at the end of the floor, you'll get 15 or 20 resolve. And to be honest, half the time I wasn't completing the floors because I was too impatient to get through them. So I'm not gonna email support, get the character back, just take off those relics. I just cannot be bothered. So that's the only reason this character is still around. Let's look at the next character. After the Consecrated Path build, I remember someone doing a Leap Slam character. I couldn't remember how long ago it was. It actually turned out to be Aero TV. Hold on, let me get this right. AER0__ is how his Twitch handle is, and I think on Twitter it's Aero TTV. I think. Anyway, I'll link his the video down below so you can see. But it is 3.18 video. I've got the POB here. Now, obviously, it was a 3.18 POB, so I've updated it to 3.20. You can still see the original one there. The main difference is in 3.18, we still had the 15% mana reservation mastery here. So I changed that to the 8% increased damage and slapped in a determination 25% mana reservation. There is a warning here to say you don't have enough mana to use a selected skill, but as you can see here, the mana cost is 6 and you've got 35 mana, so not sure what's happening. I've not changed anything else. Everything else is still as left by Aero when he originally done this. Now, as you can see, it is a crystallized omniscience build. It does have a headhunter, it's got a bottled faith, it's got impossible escape, Watcher's Eye, a very nice lethal pride, and a couple of forbidden flesh and flame jewels. But that's the original one, which I will leave at the bottom of the description for you in the video description. And well, basically this is my version. My character's only level 71, and the entire build as is now cost about 300C, if that. Let's have a look at the gear and the gems so far. I'll explain what all this is about in a minute. So, looking at the main gear, I paid, as is, I paid 35C for that two-handed hammer. I then slapped in my leap slam, elemental attacks, inspiration. The inspiration came from the consecrated path build. It was already flipped to level 1, 20% quality, so I stole it for this build. Crit damage, crit strikes. Now this should be pulverize, but as you can see, my currency tap is a lot lackluster. I haven't done much heist, if any. I've only done the quest contracts, and I'm not liking the fact I don't have any currency. So when 3.21 rolls around, I'll probably end up doing heist if I play League. I'm not sure. So I just needed a drink. So yeah, that's how this came. It's a 609 DPS more, and I got it for 35C. I picked up this Abysses for 20C because the increased physical damage taken is one-off perfect, which is a bad thing. But at the time, I needed the attributes for my gems, so it's got max attributes. And in here, we currently have our Blood Rage, increased duration, a Vitality, low-level Vitality aura, and our Berserk. I brought this from trade, and this cost me 30C. I then crafted the non-challenging mana cost. I picked this up on trade for about 45C, and then added the craft. I already had this ring. I'm not sure whether it was my Storm brand or my Consecrated Path character found it. But I just re-rolled the life onto minus mana. This 5-link came as is, other than the suffix. I can't remember what the suffix craft was, but I just changed it to res. Everything else was as is, and then I just threw in my auras, which are Determination, Blood and Sand, Herald of Ash, Precision, and Skitterbots. And I can't remember how much that was. Honestly, it's probably between 50 and 100C, somewhere around there. I brought this Asenaths for 20C. I then qualityed it myself. Popped on 2 sockets for 2 reds, and then rolled the socket till I got the green, and then rolled the socket once for 4 and got blue. This holds my casting damage taken molten shell, and this should be mark on hit with Assassin's Mark. I don't have enough currency to buy a chest with these colours, those resistances, already 5-linked with apply an additional curse. And as far as I can see, you cannot get that as a implicit on corrupted Asenath Gentle Touch gloves. It's the only two ways I can get it, either a glove enchant or actually on a body armor. So for the moment I'm running with a Cast on Death Portal. Boots I had on the Stormbrand character. I have no idea how much they cost at that time. It's a long time ago. So this holds my Ancestral Warchief, Cold Strike, elemental damage with attacks, and melee physical damage for the totem. I can't remember how much this belt was. I think it was between 30 and 50C, and that there cost me 8C for the jewel. Most of that is just for the dex requirements, so I can run my dexterity gems. I did have, where is it? This Astramentus on to get all the jewel requirements, but I needed the minus mana craft, so I switched to a rare. So yeah, I have recorded this video once before. I slapped in a 2T Arachnid Tomb white map. I was showcasing the build, and I had an autistic meltdown in the map. I screamed and shouted down the mic, and I ran out the map. I don't like this build. I've leveled through the campaign with it. It was awesome. It was fantastic. I found a Val Ground Slam on one of my other characters. I slapped it in this character, which is why this 4-link is here. These are the gems I've used through the campaign. And I was loop slamming in with this 6-link, and then just hitting Grand Slam. And Grand Slam would sit here, and then Val Grand Slam would sit here. I wasn't using Berserk because I wasn't proccing enough rage, but I was using Blood Rage and everything else. I was having a ton of fun. Got to maps and I thought, right, okay, now time to equip the Abysses, sort out all my rares, and go full hom on the Leap Slam. Now the reason I've got 2 Leap Slams on there is for finger pain, because I found after tapping the Leap Slam button several times, my hands started to hurt from repeated player PoE. So by having it on 2 buttons, I can actually switch between the fingers. It makes the Leap Slamming a little bit slower, but it saves hand pain. I hit a box, dropped all this maps and all this stuff out of the stronghold, went to do the next ritual, was chatting on the video, and I died. And I don't like this build. I'm going to go back into the map anyway. This is what I died to. As you can see, cannot be stunned, hasted. See if we can get it. No, there we go, they're done now. What put me off was I came into here and there was another rare here, and as I leaped slammed to the rare, I got sucked into the Sanctum, which is what caused my meltdown, because from that I lost everything. I'd lost where I was going, what I was doing, lost my train of thought, and yeah, it was horrible. I hate Sanctum for that reason and that reason alone. So yeah, I'm going to abandon this build and probably abandon Sanctum League. I have no currency to reroll unless my Astramentus sells. According to trade, it's worth up to about 300C. If that sells, fantastic. If it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably end up playing BPL next weekend just for something to do. But I think I've come to the end of my league journey. I picked a bad build, and I picked another bad build, and then I've picked a build that really does rely on high investment, and I hadn't realised it was that bad without it. I might try and go back to the Grand Slam, put the Leap Slam in the Abysses and get rid of all this lot, possibly put the Blood Rage in here, and use the Blood Rage in there, and then just sacrifice the Berserk, the Vitality, the increased duration for the Blood Rage, put the Leap Slam in here, and then put the Grand Slam in there and just go Grand Slam. But I'll let you know how that turns out in the next weekly episode. So sorry for not giving you a full map clear, but it really isn't worth it. This build is amazing. I will link Aero's original video in the description so you can see what it's like in the crystallized omniscience, and it looks fantastic. If I had started the league with this build and been able to sync the what I spent on the consecrated path build plus what I had on the Stormbrand build plus what I put into this build is about 5 divines. If I had that 5 divines in this one character on this build would be fine. I am just so limited in my defenses because of my gearing. I can't get the levels. And because I can't get the levels, I'm dying all the time, and I can't. Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, apologies for the negativity on this build review. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves in Sanctum. Stay safe in Rogue Harbour. I'll see you in the next one.